In today's news, Premier Wheatley and Special Envoy Benito Wheatley to attend CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Of course, the Park and Ride SHUTTLE are celebrating 1 year of service, and of course, the WESSEX visits Caribbean welcome. We have a lot more in store for you when we return. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites.
It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello.
So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry, I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Welcome to this edition of 284 News. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands and of course beyond. Thank you so much for joining us, and a happy Wednesday is wished to each and every one of you. Beginning our newscast, 72-year-old Ulrich Pilgrim has been charged for the offense of causing death by careless driving. The Carrot Bay resident's charge stems from a 2022 vehicular accident that claimed the life of Belmont Estate resident Enrique David dos Santos. He was granted bail in the sum of $25,000 with one surety for his upcoming appearance at the Magistrates Court, which is scheduled for March 23rd, 2023. Now, according to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, of course, Dos Santos, a native of South Africa, was on a scooter headed toward Roatan when he collided with a vehicle entering the highway from Havers. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the happenings. Some statutory boards across the territory remain uncooperative in providing key information, and reviewers who have been appointed as part of the implementation process are seemingly having a difficult time. Now, this is according to the Governor of the Virgin Islands pertaining to the Commission of Inquiry recommendations and its progress. Our Kamal Haynes has more on this report.
This is according to His Excellency Governor John Rankin, who made a statement at a press conference on Tuesday as he updated the public on his second quarterly review report, which was sent to the United Kingdom government.
My report also notes 3 particular areas of concern. First, a lack of cooperation from some statutory boards to requests for information from reviewers. Second, the continued delay in the adoption of a protocol for appointments to statutory boards. Such a protocol needs to address the unfettered discretion of ministers that has existed in this area, which the Commissioner, in the Commission of Inquiry report, noted had resulted in, I quote, overt manipulation, unquote, by the executive of certain boards. In my first quarterly review, I expressed my concern that the protocol had not been prioritised and it has still not been adopted. I hope this omission will be resolved very shortly in a way that ensures that board appointments are made in an open and transparent fashion and in accordance with clear and objective criteria.
The governor did not disclose the names of the statutory boards that have been impeding the process, but said they fell under the responsibility of reviewers Jamal Smith and Sheila Brathwaite.
These are in relation to the reviews of statutory boards being carried out by Mr. Jamal Smith and Ms. Sheila Brathwaite. I know that in relation to the former review, there are a good number of statutory boards who have not yet responded, did not respond to the request he made for information. Once his report is published, which I hope will happen very shortly, then you and others will be able to see his further findings in that respect.
So you don't know which boards they are at this stage?
Until such time as the report is tabled as necessary in Cabinet and then published, it would be wrong of me to preempt. But yes, I am aware myself of those statutory boards.
Well, Governor Rankin also informed the public that less than half of the COI recommendations have been implemented to date. He said the majority of the recommendations that have already been implemented falls under his responsibility.
The fact is that fewer than half of the Commission of Inquiry recommendations have so far been implemented. And many of those which have been implemented are matters which fall under my responsibility as Governor. For example, the criminal investigations that are taking place. There have also been a number of delays in taking forward specific recommendations, and revised deadlines are currently under consideration. Moreover, as far as the reviews and audits that have been received are concerned, it's important to note that they are merely the start of a process on which further action is required.
Rankin also explained to the public that while some of the deadlines were realistic but just delayed, others had justifiable reasons for their tardiness.
Some of the deadlines, I think, were realistic but have simply been missed. So in particular, the protocol for appointments to statutory boards should have been with us before the end of last summer. I flagged my concern about the delay in relation to my first quarterly review in October, and that has still not been resolved, and hence I have emphasised again my hope that that will be resolved very shortly indeed. In other areas, there have been understandable reasons for delay. For example, it has taken some time to identify some of the reviewers, to take forward the reviews, and it's only recently that the announcement was made that Mr. Kedrick Malone has been asked to take forward the review in relation to residency and belongership. And so clearly a shift in the deadline there will be required, I believe, to the end of October has been proposed. The Honourable Premier has written to me on the subject of those changed deadlines, and I hope to respond to him shortly.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley will be joining other heads of government of the Caribbean community at the 44th regular meeting this week. The Conference of Heads of Government meeting is being convened in Nassau, the Bahamas, from February 15th to February 17th. Take a look at this report. Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley will be joining other heads of government of the Caribbean community, known as CARICOM, at the 44th regular meeting this week. The Conference of Heads of Government meeting is being convened in Nassau, Bahamas, from February 15th to February 17th. Premier Wheatley will be accompanied by his special envoy, Mr. Benito Wheatley, and the Assistant Secretary of the Internal Affairs Secretariat, Ms. Donnell Davis. The heads of CARICOM will engage in strategic ongoing discussions on critical issues, including regional food security, climate change, and climate financing, and immigration, as well as security. In addition, the heads of CARICOM will deliberate on the effective management of COVID-19 and other emergent public health concerns. concerns. Deputy Premier, the Honorable Kai Reimer, has been appointed to act as Premier and Minister of Finance from February 14th to February 18th. Honorable Reimer's appointment is in accordance with Section 55 of the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007, which states, and I quote, "If the Premier is expected to be absent from the Virgin Islands for more than 48 hours, the Governor shall authorize the Deputy Premier to perform the functions of the office of Premier, and the Governor shall revoke this authority upon the return to the Virgin Islands of the Premier." CARICOM is a bloc of countries and territories within the Caribbean region that include Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Montserrat, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. CARICOM is made up of 15 states and 5 associated states. The VI is an associate state.
And up next, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer in line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, Contess.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Listen.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News. A total of 8 persons took advantage of the Cape Air's recent pilot job fair, which took place at their main office at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport on Beef Island. Our Kamal Haynes has more on this report.
Today was a very special day in the British Virgin Islands for pilots and aspiring pilots, as locally based airline agency Cape Air held a pilot job fair. Well, I spoke to Mr. Cameron Withrow, Director of Pilot Industry Relations and Sourcing. Here's what he had to say.
There was a lot of excitement on social media. I would say today was productive. We met with, in total, about 8 individuals, from individuals that are 0 flight experience, but they're young and they're aspiring aviators, just looking for some guidance in the industry and some direction on where to go to get their certificates. So I was able to introduce those individuals to a unique program where Cape Air provides the opportunity for employees to, after they've gotten their first couple of certificates, Cape Air will invest in them further. They have the opportunity to receive that funding to get their certificates. So it was exciting to share that opportunity with them. And for the other individuals, they would be candidates that would be considered first officers. What we're here today to really recruit are captains, someone who wants to live and stay in the BVIs and serve their community and to be a Cape Air captain for a long time. So I'm happy to say we met with 2 candidates that sort of fit that criteria. And next week we will meet with them further with our hiring committee to complete an interview and to talk about next steps from there.
Withrow also spoke on some of the qualities that Cape Air will be taking a keen look at when evaluating prospective candidates.
So obviously meeting the basic flight requirements for the FAA ATP Airline Transport Certificate. So having 1,500 hours at a minimum is the flight requirement to have that certificate. Cape Air, but when we're looking for candidates, it's more than that. You know, we look at their training history and their performance to make sure they have a great safety reputation. But Cape Air is very different from many of the other larger airlines that fly large jets. There's no cockpit door that separates our passengers from our pilots. So our pilots are engaging with the customers. There's a level of customer service that they have to offer. You know, they're not just flying the plane. They're being there and engaging with the passengers. So that's what we look for in candidates. So having experience in customer service roles is very attractive.
The director also provided a few pointers for those persons interested in becoming a captain who have not yet reached that level. He said Cape Air has a program in place where the necessary assistance is provided to help in achieving that goal.
I would encourage individuals who have started their flight training and have earned, say, their private and their instrument and their commercial certificates, but there's still a gap that needs to be filled. Usually our hiring criteria for first officers requires 500 hours. So it's always a challenge. You know, once you finish the training, you have about 200 to 300 hours. It can be a challenge to get over that hurdle to get another couple hundred hours. So what I would encourage those people to do is to become a certified flight instructor. That's going to really give you structured experience and prepare you to be a first officer at Cape Air. There are opportunities down here as well to do aerial survey, to fly skydivers, and things like that. So find some structured experience to continue building those hours, or learn more about the internal gateway program where after you've made a commitment into Cape Air, there's an opportunity for the company to invest further in you.
Withrow also spoke on Cape Air's current staff complement in the territory.
We currently have 3 captains, and we are exploring the opportunity to hire a couple of first officers that would fly a second in command and build their hours to become a captain. So that's a really great opportunity for young and aspiring pilots who have just started their careers to now have the opportunity to start with the experience they have at Cape Air as a first officer. To continue getting that experience. So we have several airport service employees. We usually keep a couple of airplanes out here as well.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
The Governor's Gourmet Gathering, a highly anticipated fundraising event on the calendar of the Virgin Islands Search and Rescue, was held on Friday, February 10th. The event invited members of the public to join the governor at his residence alongside representatives of Visor for a night of culinary experiences. Compliments, of course, over a dozen local restaurants and businesses who came together to essentially support guests, of course, and welcoming their host for the night, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, David D. Archer Jr., who highlighted the need to support such organizations.
Unless we are in need on the water, we won't always realize the importance of the work that they do. Over 1,300 calls and rescues they have done since they've been in existence, and it's important that we support them. We give whatever efforts we can, like amazing donors we have this evening, but events like this geared to make sure that we're safe on the water through Fund and Visor.
284 Media, of course, was on the scene and caught up with Visor Operations Manager Phil Aspinall at the night's event as he celebrated the return of this magnificent occasion.
It's all great. I mean, we haven't done this for several years because of various things, COVID and hurricanes and all that nonsense, you know, but this is our big fun event. Obviously, we do the ice skating, but aimed at kids, and this is aimed at adults. So the restaurants come, they showcase their wares, they donate their staff, they donate their food, they donate everything so that Visor can be the beneficiary of the tickets that we sell. And it's a win-win. They're marketing what they do so that hopefully the guests here will go, you know what, let me go to Long Bay or Oil Nut Bay or wherever, you know, so that they can get to see what's on their menu over there, and it's a win-win.
Now, Mr. Aspinall said that from all accounts, the events appeared to be hit with contributors and patrons alike.
All their plates are full, and I haven't managed to fill mine yet, so there's a problem there. But no, I say, talking to everybody, they're just so glad that we're back with this event. It was always one of the better ones for the year, and I think it's fair to say that everybody is happy to be here.
Some of the restaurants present that night, Asmanal said, shared a special relationship with Visor as they only, of course, accessible by water.
Accidents happen, you know, and so we are familiar with them all. We go out there and make sure that they know of our existence and what we're capable of doing. Should something unfortunate happen on their premises with somebody, one of their guests, obviously, most of these rest, they have their own boats and everything, so they're safe on in their own right. But you can't predict an accident, you know. So they're keen to support us as we are keen to support them and thank them for donating back to us.
Now, immediately following that night, Visor set all eyes on preparing for its next event in Virgin Gorda.
The next event is in Virgin Gorda. It's our annual Swim and Sup the Sound, where you can either swim or you can stand up paddleboard. 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, depending on how fit you are. And we charge you to do it. And then the idea was in the past that you would go out and get sponsorship and stuff, you know. So we charge you to do it, and then you're going to get your money back by being sponsored. That's always worked both ways for us, because they go out, they get their sponsors, and then they give it back to me as well. So it's a win-win for me. I get double dip.
And for an in-depth view and, of course, a comprehensive perspective from all of the events held at Visor, you can visit our Tweet4Media platforms later this week for this very special report. Minister for Social Development, the Honorable Marlene A. Penn, believes that the prevailing situation in the territory as it relates to crime requires a serious attempt to curb crime, particularly gun-related crime, in the community. He said he believes a key aspect of making the needed impact is for the public to support the efforts of law enforcement. Penn spoke on this recently at the Emoji Talk Show.
We need to support the law enforcement agencies as much as we can. It has to be a true partnership. And we've been talking this about community policing, and I think we really need to start to rebuild that trust between the police and the community, so that persons feel safe talking about anything they see or know about, particularly with crime, because as we see it's coming very close to home, and all of us have a role to play in terms of protecting our communities and the society from the scourge of crime.
Now, viewers, Penn says that he is also trying to do his part as a leader within the community and 8th District representative.
And I will certainly do my part as a leader in this community to really speak to the young people and speak to persons who, you know, just put the guns down. We have to find better ways in terms of working out our differences. And we need to find ways to really reach those individuals at an earlier stage to really show there's a different way of life. That you can a decent and start living for yourselves and for your family. So I stand committed as a community leader to do my part in terms of the fight against crime within our communities and territory.
He also stressed that addressing the crime situation long-term will require a multifaceted approach which helps young people understand the values of making an honest living.
It requires us to have a multifaceted approach to address the issue, the social issues that accompany crime. And I believe that when we were growing up, even I'm much younger than you, not much younger than you, I'm younger than you, but I think some of the same activities that you partake in as a young man, I still at my age, your young age, partake in those activities. We had not just the government, but we had the community playing a role in terms of all of our upbringing back in those days. And that doesn't happen as it should now in our communities. We had programs like the Big Brother, Big Sister programs to the Social Development Department, but we now have MAIL and some other programs that have taken the place. But I think we need to make sure that those programs reach down as much as it can to persons within the community, ensure that persons have a different option instead of the option that's presented on the TV, on social media, on Instagram, on Snapchat, and all the different devices and tools that our young people have right now at their disposal, that opens up the world to them. That's the good, the bad, and the very ugly of the world is opened up to our young people now without little to no supervision. And it requires us to have a more laser-focused approach in terms of how we can assist them to see a different way, and how we could put the programs in place that will assist them to move in a different direction. There are different options to life than the fast life and making the quick money. But there's something to say about making an honest living. There's something to say about working hard and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and doing things the proper way.
When we return, we have more local news. You're watching 284 News.
Hon, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR.
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this thing like you, you know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome back, everyone. More than 60,000 passengers have accessed the city of Road Town with the Park and Ride shuttle service launched some 1 year ago. Take a look at this report. More than 60,000 passengers have accessed the city of Road Town with the Park and Ride shuttle service launched just 1 year ago. Deputy Premier and Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai Reimer, said that the service, which provides essential transportation around the city, has been a resounding success. Honorable Reimer said, and I quote, "We have seen the electric-powered shuttles traversing the city to full capacity at times. The service has been well received by the public as it affords city patrons the opportunity to leave their vehicles parked while moving around the city to conduct business or run errands during the workday. The implementation of the City of Road Town Park and Ride aimed to achieve the following objectives: alleviate parking lot congestion, reduce traffic congestion, reduce the use of fossil fuels and the effects of harmful immersions into the environment, and thereby reduce the carbon footprint within the territory, reduce parking on roadways which causes traffic obstructions, aid in pedestrianizing the city, improve mobility within the city limits." The City of Road Town Park and Ride shuttle service is available from the R.T. O'Neill Administration Complex East parking lot of the 22 stops in the city, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Meanwhile, free parking will remain available at the festival grounds and the parking lot across from the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. And viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. I want to thank you so much for tuning in once again to 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. We are your source coming out of the Tortola, British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant. Have a beautiful rest of the day and enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites.
It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
There are many ways to enjoy life. Like so many ways to count on Popular.